The wonderful Jessica Tarlov, the liberal host on Fox News, the one out of the hundreds on Fox News, absolutely floored her co-host today when they started to talk about basement Biden. That same line of attack that we heard back in 2020. Jessica Tarlov wasn't having any of it. Let's watch.
We hear about this basement campaign all the time from 2020 and even from now. We don't see Joe Biden, and it's shocking that we get all this footage somehow. But he is out there and he's doing meaningful things. He was with the United Auto Workers today, getting their endorsement. And the president talking about how Donald Trump, when they had a strike in 2019, didn't do anything. Yesterday, he had a rally for reproductive rights in Virginia. It's going to be a crucial issue for us. Monday, the Reproductive Health Care Access Task Force. The U.S. Conference of Mayors last Friday. He went to Raleigh on Thursday to talk about broadband access and to meet with an educator who had his student loans forgiven and the impact it's had with his family. And by the way, they made some very meaningful content out of all of that. The man is not hiding, and he's doing well, and Democrats are happy with their choice.
It's a cognitive mess. You agree?
No.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Not at all?
No, I certainly think that he has slowed down from 2020.
Just slowed down a little?
Yeah. You want to talk? You want to talk cognitive decline? Yeah. I brought my own montage.
Nikki Haley mixed up with Nancy Pelosi one time, and a guy that can speak for 5 hours straight without making a mistake.
Just rambling is not speaking for 5 hours straight, including things like, look what happens when I put magnets in water and when I beat Obama in 2016. No, I don't sound like fake Jack Tapper. I sound like real Jessica Tarlov. And it's not a small thing. If Joe Biden had confused Nikki Haley and Nancy Pelosi, so they have in common the first letter of their names, and that they're both a woman.
He has not had an incident-free speech or appearance where either he mumbles and stumbles, or somebody has to escort him stage left or stage right because he has no clue where to go.
They hide him from the press. They don't let him speak to reporters. They keep him on a very short leash for a reason. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to deal with when it comes to the nominee.
If you guys think that people are sitting at home and watching Donald Trump talk about Joe Biden's going to get us into World War II, or I need an ID to buy a loaf of bread, or that we're going to buy, actually, this is all intentional. I'm trying to throw you off the scent. The man is bragging about passing a test
that
you need to pass when you have brain damage.
I find this amazing. Joe Biden has been a cognitive mess, and almost every night I play tapes on this show, and then there's 3 mistakes of Donald Trump, and boy,
fair and balanced.
now the guy that aced a real cognitive test. Go ahead.
The bottom line is the assessment of the American people, and you look at any poll, Suffolk, USA Today, it doesn't matter the poll, NBC, ABC, 2/3 do not believe that Joe Biden's mentally fit to be president. There's a reason why apparently his press team was in the White House and takes a tally of every time his age is mentioned, because he knows it's a huge problem for him.
His whole staff, the world knows. The only one that doesn't know, Jessica, I'm going to send tapes to your house.
I see it every day on the 5, and I love being here. You play me a montage all that you want. But how embarrassing then for Trump that
More Hannity, as we continue live from New Hampshire. Stay with us.
Now, of course, if you're watching Fox News, you don't see Joe Biden because they don't follow Joe Biden. They don't talk about Joe Biden because all Joe Biden has been doing has been going around the country celebrating accomplishments, celebrating rebuilding the country, celebrating us coming out of the pandemic, celebrating moving into a cleaner, more sustainable future, and also pushing back against the Republicans' assault on individual rights like women and their reproductive health, which is why Jessica Tarlov brought up the fact that he was visiting with nurses and reproductive professionals and OBGYNs and talking to them about how these Republican state legislatures are impacting their work, their ability to help women. Now, he was doing that for the 2 days before the New Hampshire primary, meaning this is going to be the issue for the Biden campaign come November, because New Hampshire was just kind of a test run. Also, keep in mind that the Biden campaign released this video on the Monday before the New Hampshire primary.
I'm an OBGYN in Texas and a mother of 3 wonderful children. Having this beautiful, messy, chaotic, but wonderful family, it's the joy of my life. I never thought that I would need an abortion for a planned pregnancy, but I did. 2 years ago, I became pregnant with a baby I desperately wanted. At a routine ultrasound, I learned that the fetus would have a fatal condition and that there was absolutely no chance of survival. In Texas, you are forced to carry that pregnancy, and that is because of Donald Trump overturning Roe v. Wade. The choice was completely taken away. I was to continue my pregnancy, putting my life at risk. It's every woman's worst nightmare, and it was absolutely unbearable. We need leaders that will protect our rights and not take them away. And that's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Now, it's impossible to tell the impact the Biden ad had on New Hampshire, whether or not it helped Nikki Haley break the six-figure mark and get over 100,000 votes like Donald Trump did. And now she's kind of seen as potentially like a viable candidate. Whether or not that had an impact, we don't know, but we've seen that Republicans' views on abortion and their assault on women's rights impacted them greatly at the polls. And we know that Democrats, of course, are going to focus on it. So if you want to see more clips from Jessica and you like the analysis, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.